All right. So Google's out back to back to back updates, HCU, and then the spam within the last couple days, and now the October core update. Hey, look, has anybody just reached out to Google and said, like, knock it off, like quit being a turkey? They're being turkeys. That's what they're being right now. It's just like we can't go through another like 2 weeks of getting kicked in the wee-wees for 2 weeks straight. I can't handle it emotionally, and my wee-wee can't handle another 2 weeks of just getting kicked in. So I'm going to show you what happened to my website over the last two core updates. We had one in March, we had one in August. I'm going to show you what my website did, maybe to get some insight to what's going to happen next. And look, the core updates typically are geared towards prioritizing EEAT and the EEAT sort of philosophy. For those of us who got destroyed in the HCU, who are looking at these rankings now saying, hey, what about the EEAT? We're not seeing it represented in these rankings. Well, maybe the core update's going to have something to say about it. Maybe that's been Google's plan all along. We're going to get into it. My name is Rob, and I started this channel just a couple of weeks ago to share what I've learned over the last couple of years through blogging, SEO, rankings, and how I learned to make a little bit of money with affiliate commissions through my website. Unfortunately, my timing is fantastic because I started this channel right when the HCU hit and it thrashed all of my traffic. So now, not only am I going to be sharing all of those other things, we're also going to be talking a lot about how do you dig yourself out of these holes whenever you hit a wall through blogging, whenever your traffic drops out, whenever Google says, We're going to talk about that now included. Wasn't part of the original plan, but here we go. So we had two previous core updates this year. We had one in August and we had one in March. Interestingly, if we actually look at the time duration for both of these, they're almost the same, right at the 2 week mark. See, in August, 16 days, and March, 13 days. So I think that we can expect something similar here. The only caveat there might be that this is right on the heels of the HCU, and perhaps that has some sort of impact. If you look at these other ones, there really wasn't anything before either one of them. The one here in March had a February one, but it wasn't quite the same. So that would be the only caveat, but I'm expecting this to probably last within that same 13 to 16 day kind of time frame. If we look what this did to my website previously, if I'm trying to glean anything off of it, there's not much there because both core updates this year have treated my website very different, despite the fact that my website has pretty much been the same sort of content the whole time. So in August, what we have here is essentially it started around the 22nd, which is right here. And you can see it just kind of went up like at a natural slope. It doesn't seem like anything really impacted there. But if we look back at March hit right around the 15th, and that's about right here. And then the bottom fell out of it. So it did impact me negatively in March, but here's also what's interesting is it lasted right about 2 weeks, which puts it right around the 29th, 28th, somewhere in that range. And then look what my traffic did after that. Like, it was almost like as soon as the update was done, Google was like, hey, sorry about that. Like, our bad. And then not only did it come back, it came back even higher than it was before. So kind of interesting there as far as what it's done to me in the past, at least. Now, just very quickly, I wanted to show you how the HCU is still pretty much hitting my website, even though it's a much slower, painful death. Obviously, when it dropped out, let me get rid of my average position. When it dropped out, it was an incredibly difficult dropout. You can see that slope is almost straight down. But even since then, and now that the update's been done for almost a week, you can see here, actually, yesterday I had my lowest click total that I have had since probably, well, at least a year, if not before that. So it is still slowly draining my website, essentially. Now, one of the other things, and I mentioned this on one of my other videos, was I was shocked at the time of how my current ranking keywords are at a much higher average position than ever in the entirety of the history of the website. And I kind of thought that would drop out over some time. I realized this is happening because a lot of my keywords that I was ranking for, maybe like 5 to 25, are just gone. And it seems like that a lot of them that I have left over are higher ranking keywords. It's just a lot less keywords. But I'm really surprised that this number actually continues to climb, which is probably the saving grace of whatever traffic I'm getting at this point. So, right now I would say this. I've said in my other videos that I think that there's a lot of information out there and a lot of guessing as far as what to do with our websites right now, especially for those of us that got hit really hard by the HCU. I think because this other update is happening now, and because this is supposed to be an EEAT focused update, I'm even more leery about making too many big changes to to my website. I am going to be putting out a video here over the next couple of days about the things that I am actually doing to my website, the different sort of optimizations, any editing that I'm doing. I'm going to mention kind of how I'm approaching that thing. It's just going to be probably 3, 4, 5 things that I'm going to show you that I am doing right now that isn't going to overhaul anything, but trying to stay in action, trying to make sure that like, hey, what have I missed over the last couple of years that perhaps put me in this position to get knocked around by Google a little bit? So hit subscribe if you haven't. If blogging and making money through your blog is your thing, hit subscribe if you haven't, and I'll have that video here in the next couple of days. I'm also going to show you in another video that's coming up the keywords that I am ranking for as a number 1, 2, and 3 position still even after the update, and why to me it makes no sense. Hey, I'll take the ranking, but I shouldn't be there, and I'm going to show you why in one of my next videos coming up. So hit subscribe. That's it. Hold on to your panties, everybody. The Google Core update of October is here. Buckle up. We'll see you on the next video. Peace out.